Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everybody. This is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you in the month of December, since it is Christmas time and the holiday time, about Modern Family Season 5, The Old Man in the Tree. So, this is a really funny Christmas episode. Not as funny as like the past ones, but there are some really good moments in here. But they're more serious, and they're more serious play for laughs. This is around the time the show started to like get a bit on the stale side. This is when Joe was introduced as the baby. And you know how it is in sitcoms when you have like a new little baby kid on the show. That's when the show either get canceled or like it just doesn't do that well. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't. Family Matters, Step by Step. Um, when they introduce Seven into Married with Children, that's just around the time shows start to like decline. They try to spice things up because the other kids are getting older, and it just let the other kids get older. Don't introduce a new kid. Like sometimes the kid doesn't make the show. It's the adults that make the show. But anyway, this is a pretty funny episode, and I do like it. So, like, the reason why it's called The Old Man in the Tree is because Manny is now getting older. He's an older teenager, so is Luke. So their voices are developing in this episode. It's weird to hear like Luke's voice start to develop in this episode. So like Manny bought this like tree that lights up on its own. Like the little like bristles of like the branches, they start to light up. Jay doesn't like it. He's all like, no, 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 this is too new, this is too modern. He wants an old-fashioned, good old-fashioned tree. So he said, we're going into the woods, we're gonna chop a tree down like me and my old man. And so we're going to save Christmas. So they go into the woods to chop down a tree. Claire comes over because Gloria wants her to babysit. Claire assumes it's Joe, but no, it's Gloria's mom who comes to visit. Now, the actress who plays her mom, I can't remember her name, but her last name is Penna. I first saw her in the first Rush Hour movie. She played the female cop who basically has like a really small role in it. And she never showed up for any of the other movies and stuff. So, and also she sadly passed away due to some complications, I think with like her heart or something in her or her liver or something like that. Rest in peace. She was such a gorgeous woman and stuff. And so like her mom is there, her mom's cooking, and her mom's kind of like getting on her nerves a little bit. Now, Claire's big thing is that she was fussing about like how her mom only sends her slippers for Christmas and she can't stand it. Phil in this, he decides he's gonna walk to Canada. Not the way you think. He has this little treadmill type thing, and he, for some reason, in the beginning of the year, this is back in 2013 when this came out, he decided he was gonna walk the distance from his house to Canada on his little treadmill thing. And needless to say, the year's almost over and he ain't finished, so he wants to do it. So he's constantly doing that. And so with Kim and Mitchell, Lily's being a little spoiled for what she wants for Christmas. She says she wants a puppy pound. And they're all like, well, you never said that. She's like, it's on my list. And they're like, oh, you misspelled it. It looks like it says guppy pond. And so they bought her a guppy pond. And she has no idea what that is. So they go everywhere looking for like a puppy pound thing, right? So Mitchell's out looking for that. But Cam is supposed to go to this charity event for the needy. Oh, the laughs that's going to come with that. So anyways. Now Luke in this episode, his thing is like he's supposed to take out the trash every week, but he keeps forgetting for some bizarre reason. So he decides he's gonna stick it in the garage, and it piles up a lot. Now the thing I don't understand, like he puts a sheet over to make like a fake wall type thing to hide the trash. How do they not know that every time they go in the garage to get the car? Not only that, how do they not smell it? So, like, his thing is, so his dad wants to put the treadmill thing in the garage, but he's kind of like, crap, I can't let him do that. So he makes excuses to why he can't do it. Now, Haley and Alex, their thing is that Haley is moving into the garage because, no, the basement. Maybe that's, so she's moving to the basement because she dropped out of college. She doesn't know what she wants to do with her life. And so Alex is kind of going to miss her a little bit because, she's no longer be across the room from her and stuff. But Alex plays off like she just doesn't care. So anyways, they're supposed to do like the whole Santa thing at the mall. So Alex is Mrs. Claus and Haley's an elf. And so like when Jay and Manny are in the woods, they use every stinking tool they got, an axe, a saw on this tree, and it will not come down whatsoever. So they're trying their best, but no matter what, it just won't, like, the tools get stuck in, like, the wood. And so, like, when Gloria comes back, she sees that Claire and her mom are bonding way too much, the way it makes her jealous. Because she doesn't like the idea of her mom, like, replacing her with Claire and stuff. And so with Cam, he is like at the charity event thing, and he starts to notice something is kind of weird going on because some of the things that people say. And so like he's trying to help out this clown who's juggling. He's all like, look, man, don't feel ashamed and everything. We're all in the same boat. And Cam's kind of like, what are you talking about? And so this one dude comes up and he's all like, the great thing about the cocoa, they let you keep the mugs. I'm just like, uh-oh. And then Cam, he realizes too. He looks around and he sees like all these poor people in the charity event. He's all like, I thought this was a charity event for the needy. He's like, but it's a charity event for the needy. So he tries to get Lily out of there as fast as he can. Because of course his family doesn't need like the money and stuff. And so she finds a puppy pound. And he's like, oh, crap. This is supposed to go to a kid who really needs it and stuff. And then, so, like, they're trying to get out of there. This lady takes, like, their picture. And she's all like, now, smile. And where's your mommy? She's like, I don't have a mommy. And the lady's all like, this is why I do this. Chaos is like, crap. And so when Mitchell's at the mall looking for the puppy pound, but he cannot find, he sees one of his friends. They're supposed to go to Pepper's like Christmas party. And so the dude's all like, where are your gifts for Pepper? And he's all like, well, Pepper said don't bring no gifts. And he's, because that's what it said like on the flyer. And he says, really? Say it the way Pepper would say it. So the flyer says, no gifts, please. And when you say it like Pepper, it's no gift, please. So it really meant that he wants gifts and everything. Now the interesting thing about Pepper is that Pepper actually disappears from this series. He shows up in a couple of episodes in the beginning of the series. Then he disappears throughout the entire middle on to re-pop up towards the end. I guess the actor was busy because he's only like a guest appearance. It's Nathan something. The voice of, what's his name? From the Lion King. Timon. That's it. Timon from the Lion King. So that's who he is in this show and stuff. So like he calls up Cam and tells him like, but Cam isn't like really answering because he's busy with his dilemma. So Gloria and Gloria's getting more and more jealous to the point where she starts to like say some really nasty stuff about Claire in Spanish. And she says it fast, man. Like when she says it. I don't know what the world she says. I need to find like some type of translator thing on like my TV or something. Like, there has to be something because I want to know what she said. And so like, um, then at some point, her mom tells her, "Why don't you do a headstand like you used to do when you was younger?" And Gloria's like, "Oh, I really can't with these huge boobs and all this other stuff." And then next thing you know, Claire does the headstand, and that pisses Gloria off the way she knocks her down. So then they start arguing, and her mom breaks it up. And then so she tells her, like, "I don't pick favorites. Y'all are both my favorites." And Gloria's all like, "Why don't you pick a favorite?" And Claire's not even. Gloria is like mom's daughter or whatever, because it's weird when you think about it. Because the arrangement of their marriage, Gloria is actually Claire's stepmom. And they're around the same age. So it's so weird. So like, Gloria mom yanks Claire's hair and tells her, "Don't you talk back about your real mom and everything. Your real mom loves you. That's why she sends you the slippers and blah blah blah. And you should be thankful and blah blah blah." And so like, in Spanish, Gloria is kind of like, "Don't you ever send me no ugly slippers." And her mom's like, "Never." And Gloria's like, "Gracias." And so with Luke, he's getting to the point where he knows he can no longer keep that trash in the garage because it's getting too big. So he hires somebody to get rid of it. He hires Dylan. Now at this point, we haven't seen Dylan since probably like the second or maybe third season. And so like, it's been a good while. And so he's gonna bribe him with fireworks. And he tells him straight up, like, "Get this stuff in your car, and when you're ready for me, honk the horn." Well, he honks his nose, thinking of that. So when he goes up to see his dad's all like, his dad's getting tired. His dad's exhausted. His dad is cramping. And so he hears the horn honking. He's all like, "Oh, gotta go, Dad." And then so his dad's like, "Forget this. I can't do it. I'm gonna give up." But then Luke feels bad, and he tells his dad, "You gotta keep doing this. You have to walk to Canada." So Phil does it. He finally does all the steps, and then he like collapses afterwards. And so at the charity thing, Cam is trying to get out of there as fast as he can, but then Lily is wearing a jacket all of a sudden. He's all like, "Where did you get that jacket?" And then the lady's all like, "I'm sorry, kids, all the jackets are gone." I'm like, "Oh my God, dude." So then Mitchell shows up, and then when Mitchell shows up, there's a bunch of gifts in his car, and Cam's all like, "Yes, it's a Christmas miracle." He starts like giving them out to everybody, and Mitchell's like, "No, no, 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 not those gifts and stuff." And then he's all like, "Why not?" And he's all like, "Those are for Pepper." He's all like, "But Pepper said no gifts." And then he's all like, "Well, say it the way Pepper would." So he's like, "Oh crap." So then the kids start opening the gifts, and they're all like, "What is this stuff?" So they basically just give like, so it's like one girl, she gets like some type of tray that seasons your food as you serve it, and one boy who's heavy set gets like the scale, and he's all like, "What is this for?" And Cam's all like, "I wish I would have had that when I was your age," and stuff, because Cam's like heavier set. And so one little boy's like, "I just want a puppy pound." And then so Lily, as sweet as she is, she's like, "Here, you can take this one," and everything. And so they're really happy and thrilled with her because she's all like, "It doesn't matter because I'm going to get one tomorrow." She's talking about from Santa. And so they're all like, "Lily, you might not get what you want." But then Mitchell sees that they have one in the store that's in another town. They can't get there, so they send Phil. Before I get to that, let me get to some of the other stuff. I gotta get the Haley in them because that's pretty hilarious too. But first, let me get to the title of this episode, dude. So Manny and Jay. Jay tries to burn the tree down. It doesn't work. He tries to use his car. It rips most of the branches off on one side. So it's bald on one side and burnt on the other. And there's only like one good kind of side left, but not really. And then Manny's all like, "What if we use the jack? It might like release it." But then all of a sudden the car rolls back on its own and hits the tree and knocks it down. So after hours and hours and hours of being out there, it doesn't work. And the reason why he tried to set the tree on fire, because he was smoking a cigar and it just lit the tree on fire. He's all like, after me and my old man would cut down the tree, he would have a cigar. But I was too young, so I just had a cigarette. It's like, oh my God. So then, who am I with now? My mom. Let's see. Claire, she decides she loves her slippers now, and Luke, when he was telling his dad to like run the treadmill thing, he's all like, I can see the finish line, I can see the fireworks. And then the fireworks start going off because Dylan is shooting them in the yard and stuff. So Luke finally confesses when he gets caught, and they all like they want their allowance money back that they gave him and the fireworks. And then you see Dylan with his hands like wrapped in bandages because he burnt his hands with the fireworks and messed his hearing up. So so they send Phil to get the puppy pound thing at the mall, right? Now at the mall, some interesting stuff happens. So Haley and Alex, they're there at the mall. And like typical, they're always arguing with each other and sassing one another, making fun of one another. And that's always great to see, because that's what was really great about those two in like the earlier seasons. And then at some point they started like not having scenes together, and then they started getting along, and that would really kind of killed the show, that and some other stuff. And so like it was great to see them like just like go at each other and stuff and make fun of each other. So like at some point in time, the Santa, he's tired and he wants to like go back inside the little Christmas house and not deal with these kids. And so Haley's is kind of, she's gonna fill in and sit in the chair. She's like, anybody wants to like sit in my lap and tell me what they want for Christmas? And this boy's dad's all like, oh, do it. And she's like, probably just one of the kids. And so inside, Alex and Santa are not getting along. Alex is taking this a little too seriously. See, Alex is the type back in the day when she didn't have a boyfriend and couldn't get a guy, because she's just a nerd. In later seasons, they started making her a little sluttier and vixener and just using like guys to make out with and have sexual encounters with. It was such a weird departure for her character, because she didn't act like that in the beginning. And so this is back when she just couldn't get a guy, and she's pretending like Santa is her real husband and talking about like, all you do is put your stuff everywhere, and I just cleaned the house, and oh, you're drinking more eggnog again and stuff like that. And so like, he gets to a point where he leaves. He's like, I'm gonna go get some candy cane, but the candy cane's already in there. So when Haley was on the outside, some woman's all like, we're leaving because we want Santa and he's not here. So she's all like, I'll go get him. She goes inside. Santa's gone. Did not come back. Alex, it looked like she's hung over from eggnog, talking about I came and keep a fake husband and everything. And then all of a sudden the kids go buck wild. They start banging and shaking on the house. It's like a horror movie and stuff. You see hands all on the outside the window, silhouette style. And then so the hands start busting through like the house, and they're scaring the piss out of like Alex and Haley. Then one boy puts his head through the window. It's all like, I want Santa. They're like screaming and stuff. Phil, he is at the mall at this point. And he's trying to get the puppy pound, but it's at the top of the mall. So he has to go to the escalator thing, but it's broke. So he's like, no. And he opens the little guardrail thing up, and he starts like walking up the thing like he's on his little treadmill thing. See, at this point, he's been walking so much that he can't walk normal no more. So he walks like he's in the treadmill. So he starts walking up, and when he gets to the very top, it works again, and it pulls him down. And he's going down and down and down. He's like, no. I'll say it was nice to see Manny and Jay bond, even though they argued a little bit, because in the first Christmas episode, they did not get along at all. And so it was so good to finally see Gloria and Claire argue again. Those two haven't done it since like the maybe second season when they started to get along. And once everybody started getting along on this show, that's when it went downhill like big time. Bah humbug, that was a good episode. All right, everybody, I'll talk to you later. Bye.